Right, let's have a look at this paper. I'm just gonna check my audio, checking that my audio is working, checking that everything is fine. Need to make sure that things are running smoothly. Let me just check. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Okay, let me also just increase the audio. No. I'll just increase the audio. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2, audio check. Testing audio. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2, audio check. Okay, then I need to also give me 1 sec before we get officially started. Before we get officially started. Okay. Okay, let me just check my live. Need to check my feed. Audio is fine. There's a bad quality there. Okay. Okay, 1080p. Okay, let me just check my live. Testing. Feed. Audio is fine. Okay. Just wait for a few people to join. Okay, 1080p. Testing. Okay. So let's have a look at the Milan. I don't even know what this is called, but this is from Mpumalanga. Okay. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to either drop it in the comment section or check my email in the description and you can send it over there. Okay. So yeah, I've got my calculator and everything set up. Okay, so yes, this is in June 2024. This is the mid-year examination, 60 marks, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Okay, so this is a mid-year examination. You normally have your multiple choice at the beginning. Okay, and we start off with a simple question, like and unlike terms. So I'm just going to transfer this. I already transferred this section over to the OneNote. Okay, I'm still using a very old software. But let's start. Okay, so 4x to the power of 3 and 4x squared are they like terms, unlike terms, are they constants, or are they variables? Now, for the sake of knowing all of these, it's important to note that when we do identify like and unlike terms, we also look at not only the letters has to be exactly the same, but also the exponent. Now, this is the 4 over here is what we call the coefficient. the both of those 4s, they don't always have to be the same. Good evening, Rio. Welcome, welcome. Feel free to ask any questions or to send to my email in the description. Okay. So when it comes to like and unlike terms, we don't have to have this 4. Let me just give it a different color there. That 4 over there and that 4 over there. They don't necessarily have to be the same. Okay. So when we do look for like or unlike terms, we are only looking at the yellow part. Okay. And if the letter and the exponent are exactly the same, we know that they are like terms. But the problem here is that this is a 3, that's a 2. So our answer there is unlike terms. So I'll just highlight that in green. It is unlike. Okay. A constant would be a number and a variable would just be the letter. Okay. So that's unlike terms. Now, the next one is scientific notation. Which of the following is the scientific notation of 470 million? Okay. So when we're looking at scientific notation, right, we are looking at where the decimal starts. Okay. And then how many times you move that decimal will determine that exponent over there. Let me just highlight that. That exponent there, this is our first option. There's a 8, there's a 8, there's a 7, and there's a 6. Now, let's look at option A. Option A would indicate to us that, first of all, it's 47. That would mean that the decimal point would be around there. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see. I hope you can. Okay, the decimal point would be around there. Now, let's look at where it started from this question over here. Okay, and let's move it up to that point and see how many times we have moved it. Okay, so we're going to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we've moved it 7 times to that point, and we can see that that exponent is 8. So that eliminates that option over there. Okay, now we can have a look at option B. Now the decimal point is before the 4 and just after the 7 if you move it from right to left. So we move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you moved it 8 times to that exact same position over there, and we see that that exponent there is 8 as well. So we can conclude that B, in fact, is the correct answer there. Okay. Again, guys, welcome. Feel free to ask any questions. This is a Q&A, so I will hop in between whatever questions you may have, and my email is in the description. So whatever questions you have for me, just pop an email, and I'll answer it. Just let me know in the chat if you have sent me an email. Okay. Now, the discount of 8% on the TV set that cost 8,600. The discount is 8%. We need to find the percentage of 8,600. It's very important to note when we are working with percentages, okay, and we are confining 8% of 8,600. We need to do the following. So I have my Casio calculator over here. Okay. Right. So I want to find 8% discount of this TV. So what do? We take 8600, we multiply. When it is percentage, when we're finding a percentage of a number, okay, we take that percentage and we always multiply it by the percentage over 100. Always, whatever percentage it is, it will always be that percent over 100. Okay, and then we have an answer of 688, as you can see on the calculator there, 688. So again, Nice one there for us. Another 3 marks. That's our option over there. 688. Option A. Now, the highest common factor of 18, 30, and 48 is. Now, let's have a look at how we're going to do that. Okay. So the first issue is me finding what to use here. 18. Okay. Now I'm going to do a factor 3 on the side, right? So my factor, I can divide 18 by 2. I'm left with 9. I can divide 9 by 3, and I'm left with 3, and then 3 as well, can divide into 3, and I'm left with 1. So this here are my factors of 18. Okay, so I can say 18 is equal to 2 times 3 times 3. I have to do the same for 30, and I have to do the same for 48. So 30 over here, can divide that by 2. I get 15. I can't divide 15 by 2, so I'm going to divide 15 by 3. I'm left with 5. And I can divide 5 by 5. And I'm left with 1. Again, I'm going to write 30 as a prime product of prime factors. So it's 2 times 3 times 5. Again, feel free to ask questions, guys. Don't have to be shy. This is an interactive video. It's not yeah, it's an interactive video. So I do see your comments, and if you ask a question, I will answer it, right? So we have that and that. Okay, then we have to do 48 as well. Okay, so we have 48. Gonna divide 48 by 2. I get 24. Can divide 24 by 2. Okay, I get 12. I can divide 12 by 2. I get 6. I can divide 6 by 2. I get 3, and I can divide 3 by 3. I get 1. So 48 is a bit longer there. So 48 we have 2 times 2. Goodness me. Okay. Let me just try something. No. Because there's no way. Okay, it's fine. So we have 2 for 48 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Okay, that is our product of our prime factors there, right? Let me just add some space there. Okay, so what do we have so far? We have crucial information telling us that these are the product of the prime factors of those 3 numbers. That will help us to find the highest common factor. That will help us to find the highest common factor. See. Thank you, sir. Isn't 2 to the power of 3 then 3? 2 to the power of 3. 2, 2, 2, 2. That's 2 to the power of 4. 2 to the power of 4 there, real. Now, when we are wanting to find the highest common factor, okay, I'm going to highlight these ones in green. Okay, so I look at which of these are repeating. Now, Remember, I'm going to look at the product of the prime factors, which I highlighted in purple, and I'm going to look at how many of them are repeating. No problem, Rio. No problem. So, oof, okay, I can't put a different color over. Okay, so I'm going to have a look at. There's a 2 repeating here. There's a 2 repeating there. There's a 2 repeating there. So immediately, okay. Ink to text. Oof. Okay, so immediately there I have my highest common factor, right? Let me just throw that quickly. My highest common factor, okay, HCF equals to, so 2 is repeating by all of them, so I'm going to take the 2, right, and then multiply. Then I'm going to look, okay, let me look, are there any others that are repeating? So there's no more 2's here by the 30. You see, we have a look at the product of prime factors by 30. There's only a 3 now. So I'm going to look, okay, 3, is it repeating here? It's repeating there. It's repeating there as well. Do we see that? So for that reason, we also multiply with the 3, simply because it's repeating by all 3. Okay. Then we look at the next number. Okay. 5. Let's check, is 5 repeating with the others? 5, there's only one 5. Do you see there's only one 5? There's no other 5 by the 48 and the 18. So because there's no other repeating, our HCF is simply equal to 2 times 3. That's it. Which means that answer is 6. So then our answer there would be 6. Okay. Right. Let's go to the next question. Let's go to the next question. Check my eraser, guys. Okay. Right, this one, multiple choice. You don't have to show any working out. So I'm just going to put that into a calculator to show you the 4.3 minus. If you have a multiple choice question, guys, do not waste time doing it manually. If you can do it straight on a calculator, 4.3 minus 2.042 equals to. If you see this fraction, I'm so glad that I know most of you will get this. Now you're not going to know what. Hope you can see. Okay, I can't zoom in. Okay, but if you get this and you've just minus decimals, you see, press the SD button. No? You see the SD button that I'm pressing? It's now in blue. You see? So press that SD button. That SD button will convert your decimal fraction. Your decimal to a fraction and your fraction to a decimal. So 2,258, right? And then we have it there. So our answer is D. Okay. And then also don't leave your multiple choice questions blank too. I know I've marked some questions that's multiple choice that are blank. It's a waste of marks. Okay. Let's go to question 2. Okay, let me just quickly go to OneNote, insert, or can I just paste? Come on, paste it. welcome, Shamarcus. So, Marcus, if you have any questions, any topic that you want me to go through, any other questions, then I will go to that type of question and do it. I'm just going through the paper just to pass the time, but this is more Q&A, so feel free to ask any questions. Guys, what's going on? Snippet 2, question 2, then I go to... No, it doesn't want to paste now. Okay, give me 1 second. Should paste. How did I paste this first one in? It's crazy. No, 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 no. Ah, here we go. Goodness. Okay, we got the... So, we have a question saying, divide 220 in the ratio 3:8. Can I see if anyone can do that quickly? I'll give you about 5 minutes. Not 5 minutes, 30 seconds. Can anyone do that in the chat? What do you think? Where do we start? Where do you think we start, guys? Divide 200 and in a ratio. These are dividing ratios. So we should be able to do this one nice and easy. Add the ratio. Perfect, 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 perfect. Rio, well done. Rio is gonna pass tomorrow. Right, so we start with adding the ratio, Rio. Well done. So we're going to say, no. Insert, is there not a text box? Okay, anyways, Rio, let's add it. 3 plus 8 is equal to 11, right? Then what do? Okay, we want to divide this ratio. What do we do then? Do you know? Since you know the first steps there. Let's see if anyone else can divide that ratio. Again, guys, feel free to ask any other questions. Okay, 5 seconds. Rio. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Right, so what we do in this situation, we want to divide in the ratio that's correctly started off. Take it over each other, yes. So you can say 3/11, and you're going to multiply 3/11 with 220. Okay, and then also, okay, let's get an answer there. So I take out a calculator. 3/11 multiply by 220, we get 60. We get 60. Okay, hope I wasn't too fast. Then we have 8/11, and we multiply that by 220, and we get an answer. Okay, 8/11 multiplied by 220, that's 160. Okay, And what's important to note when you are dividing ratios, right? Um, this value 60, if you add it to the 160, you should get back to 220, okay? Because it's dividing the ratio, okay? But let's hope that we get some application questions there as well, okay? I think in the grade 9 test that yes, EMAG, yes, yes, EMAG Junior. Okay, don't forget to multiply by 220 for both of those, like we did over here. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. This is a percentage question. This is some very easy. What? Let me just copy all of these. Ooh. Okay. What percentage is 20 of 50? Okay, we are currently busy with 2.2. 20 of 50? Anyone? How are we going to do that? 20 of 50. Give you like 30 seconds. Quickly type that. 20 of 50. This is now a percentage question. So we want to know what is the percentage. Okay. 20 over 100. Evening. Noklanti. Dansta. Evening. Welcome. 20 over 100. When we now wanting to find a percentage, I remember now, we don't have the percentage. Let us go to this question over here where we went to earlier. We got the percentage 8. We want to find what is the 8% of the 8,600. Nah? But now it's asking us what percentage. Like it's almost like for your test. The answer is 10. Okay, let's see. It's almost like they are asking you what percentage for your maths. If you got 20 out of 50 for your maths test, what is your percentage? Nah? Let's hope it's not that in tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to say 20 and you're going to say over 50 and then you multiply by 100. You get an answer there. Let's see 20 over 50 multiply by 100. Rio says the answer is 10. Ooh. Yes, Uya. Don't forget to multiply by 100 as well. The multiplying by 100 is very important to convert to percentage. So our answer there, okay. Our answer there is 40. It's important to note it's 40%. So if you got 20 out of 50 for your maths test, it's only 40%. And it's not good enough, you know. It's not good enough, as we all know. We're aiming for much higher than that. Yeah, it's sad, but at least you didn't do it in a test. At least you didn't do it in a test tomorrow, Rio. You did it here. So now in the test tomorrow, you can do better in your test, in these questions. Okay. Just erase this. Okay. Oh, sorry. Now, do we know our simple interest formula? Do we know it? SI equals to. This question says calculate the interest earned if 1,400 is invested for 3 years at 6.5% per annum simple interest. Are there any people here who has or who knows the Simple interest formula. Anybody, if you know the simple interest formula, let's see. If anybody knows it. Anybody knows the simple interest formula? Anybody knows? Yeah, I did make a video about it, so you should be able to tell us. Tell us, Rio. Let's see. We start with SI is equal to something, something, something over something. Okay, I'm going to give you about 10 more seconds, if you can. I hope you didn't leave now to go watch the video and then come back. I think it's on the thumbnail of the video. Let's have a look. It should be here somewhere. Should be here somewhere. Where is this video? You forgot it. Yeah, it is. It's on the thumbnail. There is a T. Yeah, there is a T. So, it's P times R times T over 100. So, we need to know what P and R and T means. P is our principal amount, so it is 1,400. Okay, and then we multiply that by R. R is the 6,5. Okay, and then we multiply that by T in years, which is our time period, 3 years, all of that over 100. This is just going to tell us the simple interest. Okay, this is going to tell us the simple interest that we are gaining from this. Okay, no. So let's put that into a calculator. 1400 times 6,5 times 3. So you have to start with a fraction. All of that over 100. Okay, and it's 273. So our simple interest there, rands, we are working with rands, 273. Okay, that is the interest earned. Okay, that is the interest earned. Okay, any questions there? I don't think there's any questions. I'm gonna move on. Okay. Sorry. Let's have a look at 2.4. The price of a loaf of bread is R9.90. The price is increased in the ratio 15 16. Calculate the increased price of the loaf of bread. Okay. Calculate the increased price of the loaf of bread. This is ratio as well. Okay. So we start by identifying what are we increasing. The 9.90. Okay. So does anyone have a clue what to do? I'll give you about 30 seconds. These ratio questions normally get tricky. I'm not sure if the comments are delayed. Okay. So increasing in the ratio 15 is to 16. When we are increasing ratio, if we look at the two ratios over here, if we are increasing ratio, we're going to take this value and we're going to multiply it. Now, remember a ratio, we can also look at a ratio as a fraction. Okay, so we can either look at that ratio as 15 over 16 or 16 over 15. But because we are increasing the ratio in that ratio, okay, we are going to have the bigger number on the top over the smaller number at the bottom, because we are increasing the ratio. No? Increased price, okay, or increased in the ratio. It's important to note, if we were to 15 over 31 and 16 over 31, let me just double check your answer there. 15 over 31. No. And 16, no. Okay. Yeah, this is increasing ratio. If you know what, Imag, I know what you're thinking. You are thinking about dividing ratio. Now, don't we multiply when we get the simplest form? Not sure about your question, but not sure if I get your question there, email. But what you're doing now is you are dividing ratio. If I was dividing in the ratio 15:16, I would have done 15 over 31 and 16 over 31. But I'm not dividing, I am actually increasing ratio, which works slightly differently. Okay, so you take the bigger one over the smaller one and you multiply it by 9,9. Okay, so 9,9 or 9,90 times 16 over 15. See that you get that fraction? Just press the ST button, 10,56. So your answer there is 10,56. It's also important to note here the answer that you get. Now, whatever you do in these questions, we are increasing the price. So whatever answer you get, if your answer is not bigger than 9,9, then there's a problem. Okay, if this question said, just for the fun of it, let's just do if the question said decrease. No? Wait, why can't I type? Select and type. Wait quickly. Just oh, oh. So if we were to decrease, what would we do? That's beautiful. If we were to decrease, what would we do? Right now, we're going to say 9,90. We multiply it. If we are decreasing, we put the smaller number on the top over the bigger number. Then you'd get an answer. Let's see. If you put the change those numbers. Now look what I get. 9,2. 9,28. Did you see that it went down from this one here? It went down. So we know that that is correct. When we are increasing and decreasing ratios, we use a fraction like this. Okay, very important to note that there. You make them a fraction. But when you are sharing ratios, like you said, EMAG Junior, when you're sharing ratios, you're going to say 15 over, you're going to add 15 and 16 like you did, and then you're going to say 15 over 31 and 16 over 31. Multiply it. Okay. So at least you're thinking on the correct track there. Got it. Nice. I'm glad. Okay. Let's have a look at 2.5. Okay, 2.5. Just highlight 2.5 here, 2.5. The cost of diesel is 16,80 rand per liter. Okay. Understand it now? Slopanisa, you're welcome. You're welcome, you're welcome, guys, you're welcome. Ask questions. Ask. It is an interactive video. Okay. So how much will be the cost? How much will be the cost? How much what will guys, English sometimes with maths. How much will be the cost of 42,8 liters? So firstly, we have it is 16 rand, comma 80. When the question says, don't be shy. Yeah, guys, don't be shy. When it says 16,80 per liter, it is saying per, it's important to note, per or for every 1 liter. Right. Now, that is very important to understand for us to do this answer. Yeah. They are asking, or if I ask you, what would then be the cost of 2 liters? If I wanted to know now the cost, if it's 16 rand, comma 80, it says per liter, so that's for 1 liter. How am I going to get the price of 2 liters? Simple, 16,8, and I times it by 2. Then I'm going to have to pay 33 rand, comma 6 for my 2 liters. And if I want to know how much will I have to pay, let's say if I use 10 liters, I'm going to multiply it simply by 10. And I have to pay 168 rand for 10 liters. But the question wants 42. What will be the cost of 42,8? So we're going to say, let's make space, 16, 80. You know what now? We're going to say 16, the font. Anyways, 16, 80 and gonna multiply that. Okay, there's no multiplication sign, it's fine. Okay, it's fine, guys. This thing is not working. 16, 80 multiplied by what? By what? By 42, 8, because that's how many liters we are using. Then we get an answer. So we say 16, 80 times 42, 8. That's the fractional form, but you always press the SD button for some of us that have these calculators. And our answer is 71904. 719, 04. What was key to understanding evening auto vibe edits? Evening. Ask questions. Don't be shy. Ask questions. Interact. Whatever topic you're struggling with, I can skip to that topic. Send to my email. Let me check my emails if I have any emails. No emails. Nothing from no one. Okay. So that is the price. Evening, Caleb. Evening, guys. Yes. Okay. Hey, what is this? Okay. So what was key to understanding this question was that I understood what do they mean by saying 16,8 rand per liter. That is my understanding here. If I understand this, what it's saying, it's saying for 1 liter, that's the price. Then I can answer any question regarding this. 10 liters, 15 liters, 100 liters, I know. I just need to multiply it by that. Okay. Right, that's question 2. Done and dusted. Okay. Let me go and fetch some more questions. Junior, evening. Are we, Junior? Are we? So, question 3. Looking very, very spicy. Question 3. We are starting with the fractional addition of fractions. Mr. D is the best maths educator you can get. No, I'm just learning now how to count. Sir Marcus, what do you mean? Okay, thank you. So we have 1/4 plus 2. Now that is called a mixed fraction. Now let me check the primary school. Agreed. Thank you, Rio. Thank you. Let me check the primary schools that you guys were at if I need to go visit some principals now. How are we going to convert this mixed fraction to the mixed fraction to a normal improper fraction? Because we cannot add these fractions like this. And remember, we cannot put it into a calculator. Thanks, Lopanisa. Thanks. So we have to convert this mixed fraction to a improper fraction. How do we convert that? Let's see. If anybody can do that. Anybody can convert. Anybody? add the So firstly, who is Mr. D? Some other guy, I don't know who they're talking about. They're coming here in my chat saying that this Mr. D guy is the best maths educator. Honestly. So how are we going to convert? No, I'm joking. How are we going to convert this mixed fraction to improper? Let me help you because you guys are not answering me. So I'm going to have 1 over 4 which stays like that. Okay? The 2 and the 3. No. Before you add, you first have to, I'm gonna highlight now. You first multiply, oh sorry. Firstly, the denominator stays 5. No? It stays 5 for the mixed fraction. The next thing we need to do, we take this 5, I'm highlighting it, and that 2 that's in front of that 5, I'm highlighting it as well. We multiply them. You understand? We must multiply them. So we're going to say 2 times 5. That equals to 10. Then you add now. You're going to say the 10 plus the 3. Whatever was on the top there is this 3 that we are adding. So then it is 13. It is 13. So we have 1 over 4 plus 13 over 5. Right? Now, we're still not done and we're not using calculators. Yes, Regan. Yes, Regan. We multiply the 5 by the 2 and add the 3. Yeah, exactly like that. Congratulations to your primary school. They have 1 free calculators for... I'm joking. Okay, so 1 over 4 plus 13 over 5. How are we going to add now these two fractions? I think some of you guys might be delayed. Not delayed, but the stream might be a few seconds late. So we have 1 over 4 plus 13 over 5. We cannot use a calculator. We can always use a calculator to check if we're on the right path. But when I am marking and I don't see the step, you don't get any marks. You must show you're working out. Okay. So now I have 1 over 4 plus 13 over 5. How am I now going to do that addition of, and again, addition of fractions, like the basic stuff are on my channel. Basic things. Addition of fractions. It's there. You can check it out quickly. Okay, I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Anybody in the chat? What do we do here? Okay. It's fine. So we look at the denominators, 4 and 5. And we're going to ask ourselves, okay, between the denominators, what is the lowest common multiple? Yes. So the LCM. So we're going to do this manually. 4, right? 8, 12, 16, 20. I'm going to stop here because 4 plus 5 and 1 plus 11. No. Real. Please go and watch my video, real. We can't do that. I see where you're getting that rule from. When if this was multiplication, we can we deleted this comment. We can multiply the 1 and the 13, and we can multiply the 4 and the 5. You see, but when it comes to addition, first we need to find a lowest common multiple between the denominators. Okay, so LCM is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Then I have 5, 10, 15, 20. Now I have a common multiple. My common multiple between the two is 20. 20. So that 20 goes to the denominator. Denominator. There you go. No? So you see that equation so far? Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, but I do have a video on this. You ask yourself now, what are we going to look at now? We're looking at this now. We are adding, okay, now let me choose the other color. We are adding these two fractions, remember that. So our first step was finding the LCM between the denominators, 4 and 5. We got it, it's 20. Next step, we look at the first fraction, 1 over 4. Yeah? Now we are going to ask ourselves, how many times does this 4, how many times does it go into 20? No? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. It goes into 20 5 times. No? 5. It goes into 25 times. Then you're going to say, wait, let me just, it goes into 20 5 times. No? That 4 goes into 20 5 times. Then I multiply it by the numerator, which is 1. That's equal to 5. So I put the 5 on the top. Then that sign there goes there, plus. Next thing. Let me look for the color here. Okay, next thing. Now I'm going to look at the other denominator. This fraction over here is a 5. I ask myself, how many times does the 5 go in to 20? How many times does it go in? 4 times. Then I'm going to multiply it by what? I'm going to multiply it by the numerator. I know you thought it. That's correct. 4 times 13. That's equal to 52. Okay. 4 times 13 is 50. So then I add that 52 on the top there. Do we see that? I add that 52 on the top. So in other words, I have 5 plus 52 over 20. That's equal to 57 over 20. Okay. And then you can check on your calculator. You can check if it is in simplified form. It can't go any further. And it's 57 over 20. Okay. Now what you do at the end of these calculations, you always check. Okay, let's check. Did we catch on nonsense here maybe? You never know. You never know. Here we go. So I put it in a calculator and it checks out. Right? Okay. Okay. Now, looking at the second question here. 5 squared. Yes, Junior. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Okay. So we have 5 squared plus 5 to the power of 1 times 5 to the power of 0. All I'm going to do now, I'm going to get my exponents. Nah? So I'm going to look at my exponents first. 5 to the power of 2 is what? 5 to the power of 2 means what? It means 5 times 5. That's what that means there. So 5 times 5, we know that to be 25. So that first one is 25 plus 5 to the power of 1, we know that's just 5, times, what is 5 to the power of 0? Anyone? Tell me. Tell me. I'm not going further in this video. I'm going to stop here. If no one is going to tell me. What is 5 to the power of 0? I know you know it. 5 to the power of 0? 5? No. Try again. Try again. Think about your assignment, Rokaya, that you did with the exponents. Whenever something has to the power of 0. Yes, Junior. Here we go. It is 1. So we have 25 plus 5 times 1. Now, we have 25 plus 5 times 1. For the sake of time, I'm just going to move a bit faster. 25 plus 5 times 1. Am I going to say 25 plus 5 first? Or what? What must I do? Yes, Rio. Correct. We know that when it's coming to all of this here, all of these operations, plus, minus, multiplication, if it's all in one row, we know the rule of BODMAS. We cannot add first and then multiply later. Yes, Imag, it's 1, correct. So we have to do what? We have to multiply the 5 and the 1 first. So we have 25 plus 5 times 1 is 5. Then you can say 25 plus 5. The answer is 30. All of this you have to show. This is out of 3 marks, for example. In the exam, I will sit there with my pen and mark like this. See? So, it will be like this. 1 mark there. 1 mark there. 1 mark for showing that. And maybe a mark there. But then if you put only into your calculator and you get 30, you lose 3 other marks. Okay? Let's check the answer with these ones. Because when you have time at the end, yes, everything to the power of 0 is 1, Imag. Yes, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, when you have time in your exam, always check. Take your calculator. Always go and check what you did. Was it right or nonsense? See that? You see? Now you know. One thing I liked to do when I was in school was to count all my marks that I get right. So then I say, okay, plus 4. Then I will count my marks. Yeah. Luckily, so that you can start doing as well. You can be confident knowing that you are correct. Let's move on to the next question. Move on to the next question. Square root of 121. So we have square root 121 plus, now we have cube root. Yo, I know some of us are scared of the cube roots. Minus 3 to the power of 3. Now again we do this separately. Square root of 121 is 11. 11 times 11 will give me 121. Then I say plus. What is now the cube root of 64? How will you find the cube root of 64? In this case, where you're not allowed to use a calculator. In fact, they didn't even say that they're supposed to. But Um, in this instance here, you can do it separately. If you struggle to do cube roots, you can simply go to your calculator. Just do this one. Don't do everything on the calculator. So you can do that. Shift the, you see it should look like that, and then it's 4. Do you see that? Just do that one. Now you know that it's 4 here minus 3 to the power of 3. What does this mean? This means 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3, we know that's 9 by now. And then 9 times 3 is 27. So then 27. Okay, so 11 plus 4 is 15. You know, still need to minus the 27. So 15 minus 27. Okay, 15 minus 27. That is equal to minus 5. Yeah, I am really minus 12. I'm lying. 15. Yeah, my brain is so slow. 15 minus 27. I've got a big headache. It is minus 12. I don't know what's going on. This happens in exams too, when your brain just shuts down and you need to do basic things on a calculator. Okay, let's double check that. Okay, f square root 121 and plus cube root 64 minus 3. See there? Now, if you just put that in your calculator like that, you're not going to get any marks, just the 1 mark. Okay? So I know that answer is correct there as well. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at 3.1.4. We have minus 3 divided by 8 minus 9. Now, we know that according to Bodmas, we divide first. But the one thing that takes preference over in this one here, it takes preference, brackets takes preference over the division. So you must do first inside the bracket before you do anything else. Okay? If there was no brackets, you would have had to divide first. But because there's brackets, whatever's inside the brackets gets priority. So we have minus 3 divided by 8 minus 9 is negative 1. Right? So then we have, 8 minus 9 is negative 1. Now we have minus 3 divided by minus 1. Now there's a few rules now we need to know. Minus times a minus is a positive. But also minus divided by a minus is also positive. Okay? So a minus 3 divided by minus 1 is positive. 3 divided by 1 is 3. So that answer is simply positive 3. Okay? That's it for question 3. Let's look at question. Oh, there's still more. There's still more. Simplify. Let's take this quickly. How long are we streaming for now? I'm so tired. Need a slight break. 1 hour. Yeah, these things take long. You see, these videos take so long for me to do. It's not. Now imagine if I was doing a video. Yesterday's video, actually I took like 90 minutes to record it, and yeah, it takes so long to edit it. So it's better if I live stream, I think, maybe. Okay, so 3.2.1 says simplify 3a squared minus 5a plus 7 minus a squared plus 2a minus 19. Now in this case I'm going to use my highlighters and I'm adding and I'm subtracting. Remember, when I'm adding and I'm subtracting, I'm going to look at like terms. So our first question I had to deal with like terms. So 3a squared is a like term with minus a squared. Huh? Then we have minus 5a is a like term with plus 2a. Right? And plus 7 is a like term with minus 19. Props to serve with this WW. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So now I write my like terms next to each other. Why does it? Oh, here we go. See, I'm learning on the spot. 3a. How would I put squared? I wonder. Let me just try something. 3a squared. No, man. Oh, I figured it out. Otherwise, you would fail. Nah. 3a squared minus. I'm gonna put a squared, right? That's the like terms I'm putting together there at the bottom, right? Then I have minus 5a plus 2a, right? And then plus 7 and minus 19. Okay, now that equals to what? Okay, so our like terms are now next to each other, and 3a squared minus a squared. Okay, we need to try and figure out 3a squared minus a squared. When we subtract and add like terms, we look at the coefficient. No? The coefficient is the number in front. So if I have 3a squared and I minus 1a squared from it, I'm left with 2a squared. Okay, then minus 5a plus 2a. Minus 5a plus 2a is minus 3a. Why is it like that? Minus 3a. Then plus 7 minus 19 is equal to minus 12. Okay. Right. So we had that like terms there. Let's just do a quick recap. We had that like terms there. We had the numbers. Okay. Does anyone know what the numbers are called here? Does anyone know what the numbers are called? What do we call this negative 12 here? Does anyone know? Does anyone know? Oh, this wasn't an equation, but it's fine. The door, please. What do we call this minus 12? Does anyone know? Okay, we end off with 2a squared minus 3a minus 12 because they are not like terms, so we can't do anything. We stop there. Okay, integer, yes, it's an integer, but in an algebraic expression we also call this a constant. Okay, we also call it a constant, right? If they ask us to name the constant in this algebraic expression, the constant is called minus 12. Okay, we learn something nice again. Let us go to 3.2. 2. Okay. Insert. So we have 2 brackets x to the power of 3 brackets to the power of 2 dot 6 x squared. We know what the dot means. Hopefully we know that the dot means multiply. Okay, so when we have something like this again, it's important to note our rules about exponents. Okay, that exponent is outside of a bracket. We learned yesterday, not yesterday, sorry, with your assignment, that when there's a exponent outside of a bracket, you multiply, not add, you multiply the exponent inside. So you are left with 2x to the power of 6 dot. That dot means multiply 6x squared. Please explain it again. What are you referring to, Imag? What are you referring to, Imag? What must I explain? I'll pause just for you. What are you saying? What must I explain again? I'm not done. That question is not done, by the way. Okay, let me just finish this question and then I'll get to Emag's question. Okay, so we have 2x to the power of 6 times 6x to the power of 2. When we are multiplying, now this is another rule that we should know. This is a base of x. We are multiplying these two letters. Let me call it letters. You are multiplying two of the same letters. When you are multiplying two of the same letters, now you first start off by multiplying the number that's in front of them, which is 2 and 6. 2 times 6 is equal to 12. Then you keep the letter x, and then what do we do with the exponents? Can anyone tell me? Does anyone know? I'll give about 20 seconds. What do we do? The 3.2.1. Okay. Can you indicate exactly what part of the 3.2.1, Emag? So that I can know what to re-explain. Okay. Anyone with this? What do we do with the exponents? 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. When we multiply the same bases, we add the exponents. So that's 6. We add it with the 2, and we get 8. Okay. So this here is our final answer. Okay. That is our final answer. Okay, Imag, you were saying that 3.2.1 you struggled with. Okay, you have to respond. You have to respond. You know what now? Do you have Discord? Only if I can't have a Discord, and you guys can join a Discord to ask questions. You don't multiply. you don't multiply. You add the exponents when you're multiplying the bases. And then over here is there's no multiplication happening here. Okay. I wonder if I can't. I wonder. Let me check if this is gonna work. Can't I comment on my own video? That's crazy. Check this Discord if you can join and ask. I wonder. Let me check if this is gonna work. Check the Discord in the chat. Can't I comment on my own video? Can't I comment? Minus is a positive. If you can join the channel, I'm sure you can talk in this Discord, and then we can talk live. Cause yeah. So join Discord if you want to ask any questions. Okay. Where's this thing? Yeah. You didn't get the whole question. Okay. Okay, give me 1 second then. Can you join the Discord? Bruh. I'm gonna open this message. Okay, let's move. Okay, let me just go to your question and try. So, Emag, are we struggling with finding the like term here? Is that what we're struggling with? Identifying the like terms? We are looking at this question here, 3.2.1. When we look at the letters, we look at which letters are all the same. And they must also have the same exponent. Right? So, A2, this one has the same letter and exponent, so it's a like term. Then this one here has the same letter and exponent, and it is like terms. Okay, right? So then let me just quickly. So I have 3a squared minus a squared. Okay, then this one has just a, no exponent. That one has just a, no exponent. So it's minus 5a plus 2a. Okay.
Evening, sir.
Evening. Yeah, I got shocked now. Is this email? Oh, it's real. Evening. How's it? You good? I'm alright. I'm alright. I'm just struggling with email's question here. Saying he's struggling with 3. Do you understand 3.2.1?
A little bit, sir, but I do get the steps, sir.
Because we're looking for like terms in 3.2.1. Okay. Yeah. So you don't have any questions now? Okay. So 3a squared minus a squared is 2a squared. And then minus 5a plus 2a is minus 3a. The a's don't fall away because we are adding and subtracting. Then let's not forget about the plus 7 and the minus 19. So plus 7 minus 19, that is equal to minus 12. And that ends there because those are unlike terms. We cannot go any further there. Okay. So I'm going to end off on that question there. And then I'm going to go to 3.2.3. Okay. Rio,
Yes, sir.
do you mind muting until you have like a question and then you can unmute?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, feel free to ask questions. Don't be shy.
I won't be shy, sir.
Like,
No worries.
okay, okay, good, good, good. Okay, now we have y to the power 4, y to the power 4. What's going on now? Y to the power 4 divided by, okay, now y to the power 4 divided by y to the power of 2. We are dividing. We ask ourselves a few questions now. This is a letter, that's the same letter, and we are dividing. So when we multiplied, what do we do with the exponents? We added the exponents. Okay, we added the exponents. But with division, we subtract the exponents. So that answer is equal to y to the power of 4 minus 2, which is equal to y to the power of 2. Okay, let's move on. Still have some time to go.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I wasn't have a question, but not with the question, sir. I just wanted to ask if sir can screen share this too because it's a bit delay on YouTube.
Okay. Screen share. Can you see?
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Complete the following table. We have a decimal fraction, common fraction, percentage, decimal fraction, common fraction, percentage. Now, the first one, decimal fraction, common fraction, percentage is done for us. And for this one, decimal is 0.37, then it's 37 over 100. Now, to convert a common fraction to percentage, all we do, we take the entire fraction as it is. Now, let's start with this one as an example. 3 over 5, it's already done for us. All we do to convert a fraction to percentage, you take the fraction, you multiply it by 100. So we have 5 divided by 3, 5 over 3 multiplied by 100. Sorry, I was thinking now. 3 over 5, sorry, multiplied by 100, that is 60. That is why that is 60 over there. So to convert 37 over 100 to a percentage, all I'm going to do, 37 over 100 multiplied by 100, that is 37. Do we see that? So we have that answer for A over there. Then for common fraction, to convert the 0.4, okay, remember we're going to move the decimal Okay, so how many times can we move the decimal? We can move it one time. That means we're going to have 4 over 1 0, just the 1 0. So we have 4 over 10. Okay, that can be simplified further to be 2 over 5. So the answer for C is 2 over 5. Always have the simplified version of the fraction there in your answer. Okay, you have 2 over 5. Then to convert that 2 over 5 to percentage, again we follow the same rule that we followed here. We can say 2 over 5, multiply that by 100 to get our percentage. You take a fraction as it is and you just multiply it by 100. So you say 2 over 5 multiply by 100. You see there? That's equal to 40. Okay? That's those answers over there. Converting from decimal fraction to common fraction to percentage. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. This question is a bit not tougher, but takes some understanding. Write down the values of the marked points A, B, C in decimal form. Now, someone said on the group that they cannot see properly on the computer. No. I think you tell them now. Oh, this is like one video. Tell them to go here. Go to quality. It's on auto. You must go here to 1080p or to 720. You see? You must click on one of that. Then you're gonna see in HD quality. There. Okay. Yeah, again, send to that email if you have a question. Yeah, what's this? No, it's fine. Okay. Now, write down the values of the marked points A, B, C. I'll zoom in more now, in decimal form. Now, we all have rulers, so we should know how this works. Okay, so the problem here now is 30 over 100. Okay, let us rewrite this 30 over 100 to a decimal form, because this is in decimal. B and C needs to be in decimal form as well. So what I'm going to do, how do I convert 30 over 100 to decimal form? Right? If you do remember decimal fractions, you look at the number of zeros there. There are 2 zeros. So you start off your decimal point there and you move it twice because of the 2 zeros. 1, 2. Right? So then this can be written as 0, comma 30. You see that? I'm just going to make this lines thicker there in the question. Maybe you can't see some of it. Alright, so if this is 0,30 and this is 0,38, let's just quickly count the lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it means I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get to here. That means if this is 0,30, this is 0,31. This is here 0,32. So B would be 0,33. Do you see that? Then if this is 0,38 here, this one here would be 0,39 and C would be 0,40. Let's have a look at a year. If this is 0,30 here, going backwards, this would be 0,29. Okay. Um. Yes. Let's move on. Move on to the next question. Given the numeric pattern 1, 5, and 9, write down the difference between the consecutive terms. I can see from 1 to 5, I need to add 4. From 5 to 9, I also need to add 4. So that means that my difference is equal to plus 4. That is what my difference is. Okay, so that is my 4.1.1. My difference is plus 4. Okay, next, write down the next two terms. If I know I'm adding 4, okay, the next two terms is 9 plus 4, which is 13. Then I plus 4 to the 13 is 17. Those are my next two terms there. That's the 2 marks. Okay. Now we need to calculate the value of the 20th term. Now this is number patterns, and for number patterns, for us to calculate the value of the 20th term, we need to find the rule. What is the rule here? Yeah? Now you should remember now the dn equals to dn plus c. Yeah, Mateo, can you see now? I just zoomed in more, but check your, go to settings, then go to quality, and then make the quality good there. That could be the issue also. So the difference here, to find the rule, the difference, it's 4 and n. Now I need to plus c, right? So if I have 4n, n is my what? My position of the term. Yeah. So how do I go from 4 to 1? How do I go from 4 to 1? I have to minus 3. So this here is my rule. Okay, that's I'm doing 4.1.3. I'm getting the rule. So that would mean that my 40th term, sorry, my 20th term, my T20 would be equal to 4 brackets 20 minus 3. So that's equal to 4 times 20 is 80. 80 minus 3 is 77. So the 20th term in this pattern is the number 77. Okay. My headache is catching up to me, guys. Okay. Given the geometric pattern below, draw the next pattern. Here we have 3. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 3 blocks here. We have 5 blocks here. And we have 7 blocks here. So can you see that from this one to this one, all you did was added a block there and a block there to get this one here. And to get to the next one, all you did was you added a block there and you added a block D. So for you to get the next one, where can I throw blocks? Say you have a block. Yeah, you have a, aye, come on. You have another block. Okay. Ah, ah, ah. What's that? You have another block. Yeah, copy and paste. Oh no. Let me just figure this out quickly. Okay, I'm just gonna draw. We have a block D, block D. So we have, for this one we have 4 blocks like this. Yeah. Then we must just add one more block. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. 1, 2, 3. We need one more block to look like the same. Then we must add our own one. Okay. So then this one would look like, the next pattern would look like this. Yeah, it's very dodgy, but I don't have a ruler and everything. Okay. We're almost done. Study the flow diagram below. Um, the flow diagram, and below answer the question. Okay. So this is an input. This is the rule. That is the output. I did this in a grade 9 exam as well. This is why I did one. I'm doing one video on grade 8 and 9 questions, because the topics are actually very, very similar. So what actually happens here? This is the input. It goes in. So the rule is minus 3x. So that minus 3 goes by the x and plus 2. And you're going to get an output, which is a. So this we know. That's going to be 9 plus 2 is equal to 11. So a is equal to 11. Do we see that? Okay. Then, Rio, are you still here?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, sir. Do you get this input questions?
Yes, I do, sir.
What am I going to do with the negative one? Talk to me.
Okay, negative 1, you need to substitute it in the x position.
Perfect.
Just
Hmm?
so there's going to be negative 3
Yeah.
bracket negative 1 close the bracket plus 2.
Yes, perfect. What happens here, Rio?
Your
There's a no, don't stress. You have no one is put there's no pressure. There's a number outside of a bracket. Do you know what do we do with the number outside of a bracket?
you times it, sir.
You do. This is a minus, that's a minus. So what is the answer?
You, give me 4, sir. It's either between it's 4, sir. I'm guessing 4.
Don't guess. What is 3 times 1?
3, sir.
It's 3. So if I have negative 3 times negative 1, it's going to be positive 3.
Yes,
Do you know why it's positive?
because 2 negative and so positive.
Thank you. So that's plus 3 plus 2 as well. That's equal to 5. So this b value is equal to 5. No?
Yes, sir.
Can you, how am I going to find c? Hmm?
plus 2.
No, no, no. What did you start with? What is the input here? This,
0, sir.
so 0 must go away.
In the x position, sir.
So you must first put 0 in the x position. Huh? Then what? It's the
You
same.
must times it.
You times what is minus 3 times 0? What is anything times 0?
0, sir.
0. So 0 plus 2 equals to what? 2. So C is equal to 2. Yeah? Now look at
Yes, sir.
D. How am I going to do D?
You just substitute positive 1 in the x position.
And then what do you do?
Times it, sir.
Minus 3 times 1, that's correct. It's minus 3. Minus 3 plus 2. What is minus 3 plus 2?
Minus 3 plus 2.
Yeah,
Minus 5.
minus 3 plus 2 is minus 1.
Right, sir.
Thank you. So that's equal to minus 1, right? Um, then the last one, just going to do it quickly. We substitute that 2 over there in that place, x's position. Minus 3 times 2 is minus 6. Minus 6, we need to plus 2 still. Minus 6 plus 2 is minus 4. That means E is equal to minus 4. Okay, so when you have something like this, you just substitute the x, all those numbers in there, and you get an output every single time. Okay, almost done. We just do this last few questions quickly. Okay, find the rule for calculating output value for given every input value in the flow diagram. So this now is input. Now we need to find the rule. We don't know what the rule is. So the input is 1, and then I end up with minus 2. Then the input is 2, then I end up with minus 5. The input is 3, then I end up with minus 8. Do you know how to find rules, Rio?
No, sir.
Mm. So my input, I start off with 1. I need to, how will I end up by negative 2? Do you know?
Um, I don't know, sir.
So I go from 1 to minus 2. If I substitute 3, let me take out my calculator. So if I take 1 and I minus 1 minus 3, I get minus 2. Do you see? If I have 2 and I minus 3, I get minus 1. But I'm supposed to get minus 5. Yeah? So
Yes, sir.
there's a problem. There's a problem. I need to go from minus 1 to minus 5. If I take now x, what is my x? My x is this number. If I say 2x, okay, oh sorry, 1 times minus 3 times x. What is minus 3 times x? So if I say minus 3 times x is minus 6. Okay, that still doesn't work. Nah, do you see what my process is? I'm thinking, what must I do to get to the answer? Do you see the thought process? Hello, Rio, do you see the thought process?
Yes, sir.
So let me just go and create. So I have -2, then I have -5. I'm looking at my outputs now, nah? And then I have -8. I see that it's a pattern. Nah? The difference is -3. That's my difference there. Do you see? So then I have Tn equals to -3 x. Nah? Now I'm going to ask myself, how do I go -3x? Nah? To -2. -3 to -2. I have to +1. So my rule, this one is a bit more difficult. So my rule is Tn equals to -3x plus 1. Check the Discord there, Emag. It's linked in the top. So this is my rule over here, -3x plus 1. Do you want to answer these last questions, Rio, to finish it off?
No, sir.
How many? Do you know what separates terms?
Separate terms, sir.
Hmm. A minus and a plus separates terms. So if I look here, nah, I have 18x to the power of 3. That's my first term. Then minus. Then 2x squared is my second term. Then 4x is my third term. And then -3 is my fourth term. So how many terms do I have there? 4 terms. That's correct. Okay. Now, next question says, write down the coefficient of x squared. Do you remember what coefficient is?
The number, sir. The simple number over number only, sir.
Okay, that's correct. So the coefficient of x squared here would be -2. We look at the number in front of the x squared when we talk about coefficient. Yeah? So that would be -2 here. Do you know, can you tell me what is the coefficient of x?
4, sir.
Perfect. The coefficient of x to the power of 3?
18, sir.
18. Perfect. What is the value of the constant? Do you know what the constant is?
No, sir.
The constant is the number without a letter. Can you find that number quickly?
3, sir.
What about this here? So it's -3. No? It's not just the number. Yeah, you must look at the sign in front of it as well. Alright. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. That's as far as I'm gonna go for tonight. I did this one paper. Is there any other questions, any topics that you wanted to? I know there was no VAT here. There's gonna be VAT tomorrow, I'm sure of it. Um yeah, some other topics as well. But yeah, you mustn't only use those tools to prepare. You must use other tests as well. Okay.
Yes.
You don't have any other questions? Okay. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching as well there on the channel. Um, hope at least I helped you guys with some questions, and good luck for your test tomorrow.
Sure.
See you. Bye bye.